Hello, second graders. Are you ready for some STEM? I love STEM, but it's a little bit different doing it at home than being at school with all the craft tub supplies we have. So I've been going around the house thinking, what can I use for this STEM project? We are making parachutes. And if you looked in Google Classroom, I have made a list of materials you could use. You need to be creative, and I have provided step-by-step directions plus some videos for you to watch. So I'm going around the house and I'm thinking, what do I have that I could use for bags? Well, I made Rice Krispies treats, so I could use the inside cereal bag as my parachute. What else? Oh, man. I had the marshmallow bag. I could use that to create my parachute. Mr. Todd ate chips for work. I could use that and create my parachute out of that. I have a bread wrapper bag. I could create a parachute out of that. What else do I have? Oh, grocery bag. I always save my extra grocery bags. That would make a nice parachute. Or, I could do a double parachute. I know some of you made parachutes on literacy night, but we are going to take our STEM project a little deeper. In Google Docs, I have a form for you to fill out. You know we always have a planning and thinking sheet, and we use our 4 C's: communication, collaboration, creativity, and critical thinking to help us learn. Can you collaborate with your parents? Can you collaborate with your grandparents? Can you collaborate with your siblings? Yes, you can. And we are going to use the engineering design process all the way through. So each of those steps in the Google Classroom are spelled out for you to help you. So be creative in your materials. So you need something for the parachute. Coffee filters, gallon baggies, quart baggies, whatever you find, you can use to make your parachute out. Then you need something for the shroud lines, the lines that come down from the parachute. So again, I'm trying to be creative. I found some thread, found some ribbon that I could cut in half, even found some smaller ribbon. Oh, my bread wrapper ties, I have those. I was thinking, where did Mr. Todd put those wire ties? He has some wire ties that he uses for electrical work. I could use those. I found some string out in the garage, and it's a little dusty, but it'll do. And hey, Max, how about some fishing line? You could use fishing line too for your shroud lines. So now we have materials for our parachute. We have materials for our shroud lines. What about a basket or something that represents the person hanging on the parachute? So sometimes I use paper cups. I saved some materials over here. I could use this bottom part to hang the lines on. I saved Mr. Todd's Dr. Pepper bottle. I could cut the bottom out. If you're doing any cutting on plastics, please include your parents and let them do the cutting. Safety first. I saved, what the coleslaw was in. That would make a nice thing. Oh, I know too. I saved my water bottle. I could cut the bottom off of the water bottle and use it for my basket on my parachute. So now we have our parachute materials. I have my shroud lines, and I have my basket. Could you put little things in your basket when you try it? Yes, you could. So I think I am going to start with my bottle. And it's really thin water bottle, so I was able to cut through it with my scissors. And I'm just gonna cut around here. Be careful, these ends will be sharp. Remember, from our making our cars and things. So now I have a little basket. As you can see, it still has a little water in it. I'll have to carefully poke some holes in it for my shroud lines to tie to, or we can tape it, the lines to it. So I think I'm going to use tape on this one. Some other materials you could use. I saved my corn muffin box. I could tear the tops off of this and poke holes in. Actually, I'm going to cut it off. That could be another part for my bottom to try my shroud lines too. And then I could just poke holes into it. I had a Splenda box that I could also cut the tops off and use as a little basket on the bottom for my parachute. And these extra little pieces I'm cutting off, could you make this into a person to put in your little basket? Yes, you can. I even saved my Rice Krispies box that I thought, that'd be interesting to try on the parachute too. So the plastic baggies, I also have a gallon size baggie that I'm going to upcycle into a parachute. So what do I do now? I create the holes in my basket for the shroud line, and I have to choose what material am I going to use for my parachute. Can you use napkins? Yes, if you have a napkin, a paper napkin, you sure can. Hold on, let me grab one. I had one from McDonald's from our meal several days ago, and I could use this napkin. And again, you'd make them on the corners to tie your shroud lines for your parachute. But I am going to use my inside cereal bag, I think. I'm cutting it. It's up to you to determine what size you need, how big you need. I'm going to do mine, I think, this big. And I think there's a little cereal still in it, like this. Ooh, that'll be perfect. And I think I'm going to use some ribbon. Now, it's up to you how long to make your shroud lines or how many shroud lines you want. I have seen anywhere from 4 shroud lines, 2 shroud lines, up to 8 shroud lines. There is a difference in the different shroud lines, but I'm not going to give you all that information. I'm taking my wide ribbon and I'm going to cut it in half. Cutting right down the middle of it. So I have like this. Now I have 2 pieces, and I will do that with my other 2. Because I decided to use tape, I'm going to take a piece of tape and I'm taping one end here on my cup. I could have even cut that in half again and been fine. So I have my 1 shroud line there on my cup, and then this end will go on my parachute bag. So let me get another piece of tape. Now, could I poke holes in my bag? Yes, I can. I could poke holes in my bag if I wanted to and tie it in knots. Usually I do, but I'm trying something new this time. And now I have 1 shroud line on, hooked to my little basket. I may determine later that maybe this is too long and I might cut this down a little bit to make it closer. I might do that right now because I think it's too long looking at it. So I'm going to go ahead and adjust it and cut it down a little bit and retape that new end to my bottle using the same tape that I used. I'm going to tape that onto my bottle. So I'm not wasting, I'm being resourceful. And now I have 1 shroud line attached to my little basket. I would do the same thing for my other 3 shroud lines because I'm going to use 4. I'll probably put 1 over here, 1 here, and 1 over here. And then I would be ready to go out and test this. I could go outside on my back deck and do it. I could find some place where I can stand and throw it up, or someplace where I can just drop it down. Maybe I climb up in one of my trees, an oak tree over here, climb up in it and drop it down to see how it does coming down. You have to decide what is the most effective parachute. What would make it effective, and what materials you use. Make sure you're completing your planning and thinking sheet, and there is the stoplight method reflection at the end. And don't just stop with one. You may decide, I think I could make it better. Maybe if I put a grocery bag over top of this would make my parachute better. Have fun enjoying STEM Friday.